Hello, this is Priscilla Batzell. I'm in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Fluid Art Studio. That's an 18 by 24 inch canvas, and I've got some Colourarte colors handy to go, and my OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula, and a variety of tools that I could use to spread paint, but I think the spatula is going to come in handy first. And I'm just trying to get a background down, and I like the idea of spreading some saffron, which is a Prizm pourer. So a few dribbles of that, along with some sour lemon that I added orange crush to. And I think, for good measure, I've got pink carnation. Those are all Prizm pours. I was missing our cat, and he just came back, and I'm happy that he's back. This is another one of those paintings where I could just be happy with starting and continuing the way I have. I don't have a turntable, so there's no choice in that. I'm going to have to keep moving around. I'm going to steal a little paint to put right up there. See how that works. My intention is putting colors down and then putting black on top of them. But I'd like to save some white negative space, and I don't know how that's going to work. But I think I'm going to start with my oranges and my pinks. This is Miami Magenta when it comes out. Don't know what that is. It's something that does not belong. I've got a little bit of Waterlily Ultrametallic Prizm Pour. If I don't wind up with any white, I wouldn't be that surprised. I've got some Plum Blossom. The Waterlily Prizm Pour, yes. The Plum Blossom is not. Plum Blossom is a mouthful. The Plum Blossom is a primary element. And I'm going to probably scrape the rest of that paint off and wipe my spatula off. I'm not sure why, because I don't usually. You know what? I really want something darker in there. I'm going to put a little bit of Indigo Violet, which is another Prizm pour. I'm going to go easy on it though. It's sort of a variation on the dots that I was doing. And sometimes I would make videos, short videos about me priming a canvas and get really cool black and white designs. Contemporary art. I'd like to leave the paint thick enough so that not much of it is allowing the canvas to show through readily. And it does not matter to me how I start, because if I don't know what I'm doing, I'll figure it out. There's that Indigo Violet. I think I'm going to share it with a little bit of Frostbite. And what else have I got? I've got more blues. I've got Blue Flame. Hopefully I shook and took the tab out at the top. Blue Flame is a primary element. I've got more stuff and I want to use it. I've got an Acai berry, which I can't remember is a Prizm pour or a Vivid Intense, and it's not marked. But it's a beautiful color, so I'll use it anyway. I kind of was hoping that these would inspire me to start, knowing that I can always throw dots over things. I've got some Frozen. I've got Frozen. And I think I like that Acai berry enough to use it again. And maybe that's enough for right now. use my leftovers and come back again. I'm being called to poinsettia. And I just mixed it yesterday, so I shouldn't have to shake it. It's a weird way of putting strokes on canvas, but I always wanted to do this. I think I've tried before and it was sort of successful, but I'm not sure I would count it as completely successful. But I am going to grab some of the... Oh, no! That was my torch. I'm going to grab some mother of pearl, it looks like, for lack of an easy availability of my... No, the Chantilly lace is right there. I'm going to use it. I want to see what's going to happen when I spread it around. I imagine it's just going to make shiny areas. I have too many bottles in my way. And this is the mother of pearl. I'm going to use that as well. Time to experiment. It sort of acts a little bit, it mutes the paint color like watercolor. It allows it to mix a little bit. Which is of interest to me. I've got some, I know I have some, golden maple that I got out in advance and put it someplace I could find it, and now it's not where I want it. But I'm going to keep looking. I've got Indian spice, which I like a lot too. I found the golden maple. Yes, it was of course right in front of me. Now what color do I want to put? I think I'm going to use some orange crush, which is plugged temporarily, but I will remedy that in a moment. If I can. In a moment. With my tweezers found on my Amazon link. No, it's not remedying. I'm going to have to unscrew the top. Take the paint chip off my finger. I could have sworn I just cleaned this tip out yesterday. They usually last longer than a day. I am having trouble. Unusually so. Why are you being so stubborn? Because it can. The same name as my book. Well, that'll teach me to make sure one of my favorite colors is clean before I go. It's cleared out now. I might use black on this before I'm even done. And yes, I've still got paint on my spatula, but it's drying rapidly. And that was altogether too sheer. So a much gentler stroke is what I've got in mind. Maybe some more paint too. More paint. I'm going to use some more of my... Oh, this is fluorescent pink. This is a Vivid Intense. still keeping some white in the background, which is pretty much what I was hoping for. Not sure what that mark was, but it's not that hard to get rid of. This reminds me of when I used to watercolor a lot, actually. Back to the golden maple. I think it's okay to leave a little bit of heavy paint. I'm going to do it. I use GAC 800 by Golden in all of my paint mixtures. I know, because it's expensive. Well worth having though, if you like to leave designs heavy. I think I'm going to add a little bit of saffron right there. There are a fair amount of marks that kind of look like schmutz to me, but I mean, I gotta play. I just gotta play. What did I do with that poinsettia? It needs to come back again. And that needs to go away. What is that? Go away, thing. I would say so far so good, but I have no idea. I'd like to know where all these little things are coming from. They're probably coming right off my spatula. Might be time to dump this one in the bucket and grab another one. Before I do that, I want some Tuscan Sun though. Wish I'd cleaned the spatula before that. Well, maybe it'll be alright. I have some poinsettia on there, I'm not so sure. Looks great. Yeah, it's time to get rid of the spatula. I could take the time to clean it off, but I spent all my extra time cleaning out the tip of the orange crush. Being called to blue, I'm going to use Frostbite and some Egyptian blue. If I can get the tab off the top in time. And some bottles out of the way. I'm going to mix my color right on the canvas. I'm going to put some purple in there too. I'm thinking African violet. And no matter what I start with, I can always put dots over the top. I could put, you know, I could put some cells down. I kind of want to grab a Princeton Artful Catalyst spatula. Actually, I've got one of these silicone hair tools. That might be kind of fun to play with. Just to make marks. I'm careful and I don't mind if it's an imperfect. Yeah, I don't mind. But like I said, if I'm careful, I don't mix my colors. If I just dab, I get some interesting marks, I think. I hope. When I stop thinking and go ahead and try, that's when things get really interesting. And I like using my spatula, my Acai Omelette Turning Flip and Fold spatula, available on my Amazon link. I like using it as a palette. And I think I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to put some Waterlily right there. Try and pick up enough so that I don't mix the paint. Or drag it up in that case. I am allowing the other colors to stay behind. I want that piece of gold schmutz off my handle. You know, anywhere there's stuff I don't like, I can always just add a color, right? I got one more minute to paint before I just have to decide what else I'm going to do. Wasn't planning on this stage being a finished painting anyway, so we're all set. I do like the idea of adding texture. You can only add texture if the paint hasn't dried yet. Hopefully you can see all that. And I'm going to drop these in the bucket too and come back in a minute. What am I going to do before then? More Tuscan sun. I might have to wash a few. There we go. Alright, I'll be back in a sec. I'm going to put some white down on this too, I think. Now you can see it all. That looks kind of cool, actually. The camera's very whack. Alright, I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so I had a chance to get some paint off my hands and off some tools. And I'm thinking, I pulled some Royal Sapphire out. And I'm wondering if I have a really small tool I might want to use. I also pulled out some Snapdragon. Royal Sapphire is a Prizm pour. Snapdragon is a primary element. Think about turning this around all the way. Actually, where are my tweezers? I'm seeing something that does not belong. I want it to go away. And now it's away. Huh, I think that I like what the Royal Sapphire did. Right along with the Snapdragon. And I'm thinking maybe a little bit of Rhapsody Rose, which is another primary element. What have I got? I've got tools to scrape with. I'm going to grab one. They're basically spatula heads. They've been removed. And the paint I take off is kind of interesting to add. It's going to be kind of thick because the scrapings, that's interesting already to me. Miami Magenta. Kind of want to put some black down. I'm not sure it's a great idea. It's turning into one of those paintings that wasn't supposed to be a painting yet at this stage. But why not have some fun? Although I'm not so sure about that. Kind of loving the sticky paint that's coming off. It's kind of neat. I don't want to go a lot further yet. I'm still thinking about the black eventually. But the black needs to go on after it's dry if it's going to happen. I want some. I was going to use some of that triple sec. I'm not sure what I'm going to do now. I want some of this Tuscan Sun right there. Kind of need to wipe off my tool. The reason the paint comes off the canvas so easily is because I pre-primed it with Artist Loft. I guess I'm going to go for some triple sec because I see something that's greenish up here and I kind of like it. Maybe that's the place to start. I had in mind over here, I wanted to use a balloon too. Let's use the black in the corner. I don't want that black in there. At least not on that tool. Not right now. No, not sure about that at all. Nice when things can be removed, isn't it? It looks like a rainbow exploded. Wipe that off again. I could probably leave this for a couple hours and come back. Let's see. I have smaller tools with thinner lines, smaller notches, however you want to describe it. Did I make a mess? Maybe. Do I want to keep playing? Sort of. I'm not sure that the triple sec was my best idea, but I can still cover it with other things. I've got a black raspberry. I said I might put some white on too, didn't I? I'm pretty much full up on color, so I'm thinking the next stage is to use black or white somehow, some way. I'm going to throw my tools in the bucket, although if the paint dries on these tools, you can just peel it right off. Alright, so I'm going to use my, it's a completely different toothy tool. This one is better to spread paint. And that's cool. I got some great colors there. I like the cross-hatching effect. Sometimes. Most of the time, actually. I like it when I can get something that reminds me of checks, too. I kind of want to dip that. I'm going to take my chances and dip it right there. That looks dry. I'm having a really good time now. I gotta tell you what, I was thinking I might have been making mistakes, but I'm just having a good time. And that's what I needed to do. I'm gonna try the yellow. Oops. Yeah, I might try the Royal Sapphire too. There we go. That's cool. I have paintings from before pouring that are geometrics. Lots of stripes, and they were a lot more pain in the butt to put on than these are. And now that I've discovered I can use whatever I want as a palette, especially with this tool, which is just a notched piece of plastic. Actually, it probably was the hanging half of the top of a packaging. Something for packaging. That's the sour lemon with orange crush added to it. I'm loving combining the colors. I really am having an awfully good time. I wasn't actually expecting to scratch anything as much as I did, but I'm not complaining. Kind of thinking jasmine might be nice before it's all done. And I haven't used any, so maybe I should try and pull that out as soon as I find it. I could use the carnation instead. So there's the jasmine. My fave. Too much fun. Combining colors, laying them over each other, making multicolored stripes. I wanted some of that over here, and that's where I was planning on starting, and then I didn't do it. I love those three colors together too. A lot. This is a riot. I don't know if I'm going to have that black happen like I thought I was, but I suppose if I wanted to do that, I could put some right in the dish and pick it up. And that might be the solution I want, to not make a horrible mess. And I've still probably got colors on my card. That's dynamic. A few checks, never hurt anybody. How far can I drag it out? It's just a riot. It's totally paint graffiti, fluid art graffiti. Maybe that's what I'll call it. I'll tell you what, I've made things similar to this before, fluid art. It took a lot more time. I can make little tiny marks. Not sure that was a good idea. But as long as I can do something before my paint's completely dried up, which it may be, I'll just put some more down. I could go with white. I hope I don't run out of time. I really think I might go with white. So cool. I'm just sort of standing back and deciding where things draw my eye. And I can't really use, I need to turn this around. How much fun is that? And I'm almost done with the black. I wish I had a bunch of these in different lengths, you know, with like just a few teeth. And I kind of do with the spatula heads, but they pick up too much paint and they don't put it down as easily. Maybe I haven't experimented enough with them. Alright, that's the end of the black. I say that, but you can't trust me. Now, if I want this to be used again, I'm going to have to quick like a bunny wipe it out with my sponge. And my studio rag. And my pants. And then I'm going to wipe this off and use some of this white. One more, missed one. I believe this is Artist Loft, but it could just as easily be Vivid Intense White. And that's probably more than I needed. but it's definitely thick enough. A day at the races. Why is that not picking up as much paint? Where was I? I guess I need more white and I needed black. So I didn't use the wrong amount. Just have to be willing to put more down. Alright, I've got 1 minute left to tell you guys I have 31 playlists with 100 videos on them each. And everything is organized by topic and genre also. So if you'd like to have a playlist by topic or genre, just ask me because I've got them saved. The links are all available. I don't want to stop paying attention while I talk. Please give me a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. I'd really appreciate that. No, I love you guys. I hope you come again. I post at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Kind of like those little orange marks in there, so I don't want to get rid of them. But I kind of want to put a big white mark in there and get rid of some of that schmutz. Alright, I'm going to try and shimmer this at you while we still have a minute. And I don't know if I'm going to come back for another stage or not, and I won't know till tomorrow. I'm wondering about this in here. Do I have any black? I need to steal some black. There. Nobody will know I used my finger if you don't tell them. That was fun. That's definitely a rainbow explosion. But no idea if I'm 100% yet or not. I'll see tomorrow. Reminds me of fruit striped gum. That's just another piece I made a long time ago. I don't think I call it gum. I called it fruit stripe. Wow. That's intense. So what did I forget to tell you? Please give me a thumbs up. There's a members option for $9.99 a month. And you have access to a members library of over 200 videos. And any video that's that I upload prior to public airing is also going to be available to you as of like yesterday, which is pretty cool. And I'm doing a lot of that. And this is me shimmering at you. And it looks pretty wild from a distance, so you know, this is the next day and I'm back, and this is really fun. And I was worried that it was maybe super duper overkill, but what I think is that if I wanted to make an improvement at all, and I'm going to sit down to do this and probably fast forward through most of it, I think I'm going to take something to protect my painting, put some of the white paint, it's a Vivid Intense from Colourarte, and find a nice paintball skewer that's kind of round on the end. I think this one will work. Actually, I've got some kind of small dowel that might work even better than that, but I'll try both of them. Anyway, so my idea is, in a very subtle pattern, it's going to leave a little bit of texture. It's also going to clean up the residual and make it really fun and interesting, in my opinion. So if I do a few things not in that area, in those areas, that might not be a bad thing either. It's a good eye distraction. but it's going to take a long time to do all of it. And so I should just come back after I show you what I've done. But sometimes I like it when people fast forward through things, so I'm thinking that that would be okay to do also. The problem I might have is keeping my hand out of it, so it's important that I pay attention to where I started. But I think as long as we're already as busy as we are, I don't think I can do this any harm, and I've added dots like this before. I'm back, and I'm hoping that I just put all the white dots in place, and it took me quite a long time, but I forgot to set the timer, and I wasn't sure when I pressed the record button to turn it off if I was turning it off or turning it on, because I found it on when I looked. So I apologize if I didn't show you all the dots, but it was basically me just taking 15-20 minutes to add dots with a skewer. So please give me a thumbs up, share my videos if you like what I do. Know there's 31 playlists, 32 I'm working on, with 100 videos on them each, and everything is also organized by topic and genre, so if you'd like a playlist, please add, I think this is Down and Dotty, it'll be on that list. My paint pouring recipe are below, show more. My email address is easpb and the word gallery spelled out at gmail.com. I do give lessons at the house in Spring Hill, Florida, and I do sell my artwork. I thought about making all the white dots yellow, and that would have been a completely different effect that I think would have been cool, and I kind of wish I had done that, but I like what I have, so I'm not going to complain again. And I've got lots and lots and lots of shine and shimmer. Hopefully you can see some of that. What have I forgotten to thank you for the kind words in the comments that you share with me. You keep my morale boosted, and you help my YouTube algorithm know that you still care. Questions are welcomed and encouraged. My community board will show you tomorrow's video at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as long as I'm still posting then. On the link tree, you will find everything. My couple of websites, my Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links, my Facebook group, Expressionist Fluid Art Studio Appreciation Group, Society 6, The Gallerist. Spring clothing is under the video. It's not just clothing. Everything and anything that you would like to see transposed onto any of the things that are on my link tree, such as Society 6 and The Gallerist in spring. You can just ask me, and I'll add them. Whatever I've forgotten, you'll see in another video. Questions are welcome. I said that already. I guess I'm done. I love you guys. You inspire me always. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. If I see any little spots that need a little more white paint, I'll probably hit them. Like I see that spot right there, and that spot right there. But otherwise, I'm done. And I love you. I hope you come again tomorrow. Bye for now. Priscilla out.